Good morning, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. Grandpa coming to you from the living room in Jacksonville Beach. And once again, we're looking at the pyramids in Giza, the Great Pyramid. Must be amazing. There's people who live close by. Must be pretty cool to look at your window and see that in the morning. But not cool temperature-wise, trust me on that. We're in Exodus chapter 3, so let's get started. Now Moses was shepherding the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, and we saw that he was called Ruel before, but his name is also Jethro. There's all different kinds of ideas about why he's called two different things, but it really doesn't matter. He's the same guy. And now, as an aside, Moses, who was 40 when he started this journey out there, he's been there for 40 years. Now he's 80 years old. So he's 10 years older than I am right now. But we're going to see that he lives to be 120 years old before he dies. There were a lot of people who lived a lot longer back then. Now Moses was shepherding the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the desert and came to the mountain of God, to Horeb. And what we're talking about is Mount Sinai. And Mount Sinai is going to become very, very important as we go on into the book of Exodus, and we see Moses lead the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Mizraim. It's a tale of two people, Israel and Mizraim. Mizraim is how you say Egypt in Hebrew. The angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from within a bush. So, this isn't an angel, it's the angel. A lot of scholars believe that this is Jesus. He's called the angel of the Lord. And he was in a flame, a bush that was on fire. It's known as the burning bush. Moses' encounter with the burning bush. He looked. So he doesn't know yet what's going on. He sees a bush on fire. He looked, and the bush was ablaze with fire, but it was not being consumed. So you'll probably see every once in a while in this video that there's some bushes, but they're not full of foliage. You're in the middle of the desert. This is very similar to the Sinai, where Mount Sinai is. The Sinai Peninsula is a desert, and this is a desert. And so a bush could catch on fire, and in this area, a bush could catch on fire, and the fire could last for 10-15 minutes. So we're actually going through the same video that we did before. Okay. It's just replaying. which is fine. But this is, a bush that should be done burning in a minute or so, and it just keeps burning. So he's fascinated. He's looking at it and he's going like, hey, this isn't going out. He looked, and the bush was ablaze with fire, but it was not being consumed. So Moses thought, I will turn aside to see this amazing sight. Why does the bush not burn up? When the Lord saw that he had turned aside to look, God called him from within the bush. So it was an angel of the Lord, but God called him. So that's the angel of the Lord. And it's very hard for people to understand that Christians believe in a tripartite God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. But we do. So this is one of the ways that we understand that it's the angel of the Lord, it's Jesus in the bush, but the voice coming out is the voice of God because Jesus is God. God called him from within the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, here I am. God said, do not approach any closer. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. He added, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. And trust me, we'd be afraid to look at God too. The Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt. I have heard their cry because of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. I have come down to deliver them from the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up from that land to a land that is both good and spacious, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the region of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites, Uptites, and Attites. No, those last two I made up. I didn't make it up. Pastor Joe used to say that at Calvary Chapel in Philadelphia. But there's all these people that are different than the Israelites. God's going to give them their land. We're going to see that those people do some horrible things. They sacrifice their babies to a god named Molech, and they just, they're bad people. And now indeed the cry of the Israelites has come to me, and I have also seen how severely the Egyptians oppressed them. So now go, and I will send you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. And Moses said to God, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh, or that I should bring the Israelites out of Egypt? He replied, surely I will be with you, and this will be the sign to you that I have sent you. When you bring the people out of Egypt, you and they will serve God on this mountain. So he's talking about Horeb, talking about Mount Sinai. Moses said to God, if I go to the Israelites and tell them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, what is his name? Because in Judaism, they don't speak the name of God. Oh, good, we got DoorDash now. God said to Moses, I am that I am. So that's his name, I am Yahweh. Is the way to say it in Hebrew. And he said, you must say this to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, you must say this to the Israelites. The Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial from generation to generation. Go and bring together the elders of Israel and tell them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, appeared to me, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I have attended carefully to you and to what has been done to you in Egypt, and I have promised that I will bring you up out of the affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, to a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders will listen to you, and then you and the elders of Israel must go to the king of Egypt, that's Pharaoh, and tell him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. So now let us go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, so that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go, not even under force. So I will extend my hand and strike Egypt with all my wonders that I will do among them, and after that he will release you. I will grant this people favor with the Egyptians, so that when you depart, you will not leave empty-handed. Every woman will ask her neighbor and the one who happens to be staying in her house for items of silver and gold and for clothing. You will put these articles on your sons and daughters. Thus you will plunder Egypt. So that's very interesting. They weren't separated. They lived together. He calls the Egyptians neighbors and says, and sometimes they even live together. Like if somebody's living in your house, ask them for stuff and they're going to give it to you. Anyway, see you soon for chapter 4. Peace out.